Zoe, she's had some cool stuff, but I feel like she hasn't done anything like this, and I've heard a lot of great things about her portrayal of Selena Kyle, and a lot of shit talking, specifically on her cowl. But what I tell those people when they tell me that, I'm like, yo, you gotta think about it like this is the beginnings of a lot of these characters. So that's why the Riddler looks the way he looks like, and that's why she has like a shitty kind of ski mask cowl. Like it doesn't bother me, but I've heard that quite a few times for some reason. Even whether she has it on or not, it doesn't bother me. When she does, it's just kind of like, yeah, it's because she's just starting out, and she's had a rough life. It doesn't seem like she has a lot going for her, and I don't know. I buy it. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, same. We haven't talked about the probably the best scene in the movie, the chase, the car chase.
Oh yes, Colin. That's right. Colin. Yes, Colin Farrell. Going back to what James said, amazing transformation into Oswald Cobblepot. I don't know. Other than DeVito, DeVito's hard to top, but like I said, Farrell came really close, if not out on a par with Danny DeVito's kind of cinematic portrayal as far as the Penguin. Unrecognizable, very funny, and yes, is involved in one of the great chase scenes in the film. It's nuts. And that's when we finally, I think, where we finally get to see his kind of makeshift, Pattinson's makeshift Batmobile in action. And it hauls ass. It's fucking looks badass the way that you'd want. Super modified. And yeah, the tension, the way that the scene is cut, I love every minute of it. It's top shelf.
Perfect.
And yes, if watching that in the theater, it's fucking loud. It's fun. It's what the movies are all about, man. And just seeing Colin have so much fun, even just throughout the movie. The guy was a scene stealer. He's another one. I feel like he has he's a big side character, but I still would have liked to see him get a little bit more to do,
Yeah, that's why it's so great that they're giving him that spin-off.
Yes. That's another thing that I feel like they've created a world where there's lots and lots of possibilities for other things to go. This feels like a living, breathing Gotham, and a lot of people have fleshed out backgrounds that we want to, as fans, invest ourselves in. So yeah, I'm really glad that Penguin is getting a spin-off show. And for all those people out there talking shit, saying that this movie was too sad and not funny enough, did you miss all of Penguin's scenes? Because he's clearly the comic relief throughout this.
I think that how you said that, Dark Knight just means something a little bit more to you.
Yes.
And I feel that way too. I think that in my opinion, in your opinion, it was, the Dark Knight still, is a little bit over this. And I'm like the flip side. I think this kind of takes that over a little bit. Just because it's everything we've talked about in the last hour or so, that just how different it is and how different of a portrayal for film it is for the Batman. I do got to ask you this though: is Pattinson, who's a better Batman, or who's your favorite Batman? Not better. Who's your favorite?
Are we saying
in general? Just in general, you could pick any Batman. You I'm not just from film, cartoons, the video games, anything.
Okay. I have a real soft spot for the animated series then.
That was a trick question because that was the only answer. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, especially because over the when I was staying overnight at work, I rewatched that entire series because I think it still probably is on Max, but I watched it from episode 1 all the way until the end, and I was like, wow, this is so incredible that they did this and they lasted so many seasons, and it's still kind of dark even though it's meant for kids, and there's a lot of inside jokes and crazy stuff going on, and it was just a real treat to go back and relive a lot of my childhood through that and see it feel like how do you say it's aged so well, I can still pop that on and I don't get bored, or I don't feel like I've grown out of it and it doesn't affect me the same. It's still so much fun, and I don't like skip the intros or anything like
Yeah, dude, I feel the same way about that. I rewatched it for the first time since actually seeing it on, as it was on TV when they added it to Max, and yeah, dude, it still holds up. Fucking Kevin Conroy, dude. Like, speaking of different variations of Batman, I don't think he gets a lot of credit, but fucking damn it, what's his name? Will Arnett, dude. Lego Batman is fucking awesome.
That is one I haven't seen yet.
Dude, you have. I think it's on Max. I recently watched it. I can't remember where. I think I watched it on Max.
I will definitely pop it on per your recommendation.
Yeah, dude, his Batman is great. What would you give it?
To me,
Wes, our friendship is on the line with this next sentence, Wes.
I'm gonna say a 9 out of 10.
That's solid.
What about you? Did you? I think you said off air 9.5. Is that?
I'll give it a 9.5 for the fact that I would have liked to see like James a little bit more Alfred.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's near perfect.
Let's talk a little bit about what do you think about them teasing Joe? Well, they technically teased Joker. I think if you look in the credits, he's not credited as Joker. It's like something like
Inmate or something like that.
Shadow Inmate or something like that. But and at first. The first time around, I was like, huh. Because he's disfigured in a weird way. I was like, are they bringing back Two-Face again? But then I realized that he says the word clown. So I'm like, okay. Prince of Darkness or whatever. Clown Prince of Crime. Probably Joker. And then it ended up actually being Joker, Barry Keoghan.
Mm-hmm.
And then watching that deleted scene that came out, what has it been, like 4 or 5 months now since it dropped?
Mm-hmm.
It looks fucking, in my honest opinion, I think that's he was just like running circles around Jared Leto. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, dude. It. I think it was a good idea. I think we've talked about this before to keep him out of like the final cut. But I'm excited for Barry Keoghan's portrayal because that deleted scene was fucking awesome. and I mean, it's fucking Batman, right? Like, I know a lot of people are saying that they really love the Riddler and they want this thing to keep going and for him to be the main, his main villain, but you got to have the Joker. You can't not do the Joker. And yeah, no, everything, that one deleted scene was better than anything Leto did. And I will say, and I think you dug it too, that new scene in the Snyder Cut with him and Batman in that nightmare scene. I really enjoyed. I think it was they were trying to do a little something different from his portrayal in his other two portrayals of it.
Yeah, I felt like he clearly, it seemed like he had learned from the mistakes that he did in that first David Ayer film. And it was just a shame that we didn't get to see more. It was short-lived, but yes, I agree with you 100% that I enjoyed that. And I was like, okay, he can actually pull out like a decent performance as far as this character. But then, you know, as far as Barry, it's unlike anything we've seen cinematically, of course. I hope they go the route, if they are going to actually bring him in to the universe officially, that they go kind of like a Silence of the Lambs type of vibe, where he's helping Bruce work on some cases or something like that, you know. I feel like that'd be rad, and maybe he breaks out or something happens crazy. I don't know if they're gonna...
that'd be fucking awesome for them to go that route.
Because I mean, I dug their chemistry, and I feel like there was a lot of tension in that room, and I feel like that would be pretty cool, especially because it seems like Matt Reeves is going the way of David Fincher as far as this first film. It feels very much like a Seven or Zodiac, you know. I think Riddler was based in part as far as how he was written, based on the actual Zodiac killer from the 1960s. Which is crazy because yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking when I was watching the movie, before I actually read that was an actual inspiration behind his character. I think it's funny when people, I've heard this a few times too, that like people think that Riddler isn't really a villain, and it's like, well, okay, I can see what you mean, but then he goes too far, you know, and he's still a serial killer. So, also, stop gatekeeping Nirvana, people.
Yeah, I know, dude. I did. That's one of like the shittiest things you can do is gatekeep something that like has been around for fucking 30 years, 40 years.
And that's and that goes for Stranger Things too, okay? Like,
yes,
there's nothing wrong. I don't see anything wrong with you know, people unearthing things that have been, you know, I mean, they might be big in subculture, but it's awesome when you can open the doors for people as far as music through another art form, and that's a beautiful thing. You know, it doesn't take away from the song or the band or credibility or anything like that. And a great example of this is with Kate Bush, I believe, owns all the rights to her music, so she got paid big for that Stranger Things stuff, you know. And look what it's done. Everybody's fucking obsessed with Kate Bush.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. I love seeing that. Master of Puppets, Metallica, and yeah, don't gatekeep stuff like that.
It's just silly, and it screams poser, you know, in my opinion. Like, come on, guys. We're not in a fucking high school. It's nothing like